We're going to work today on the start of lateral movements. There's one step in here when I start working a horse laterally off of a leg that we don't have. The very, very beginning stages is when I start my colts. I first actually teach them not to push into a leg, and then later on I'll teach them how to move away from that leg. There's a lot of different things we need to think about. You know, those early babies, they're going to be diving in a circle or bubbling towards the barn, that type of stuff. And I'll just put my leg or even my spur in their way until they start to learn that those boundaries are there. Then later on, when I actually start teaching some leg yielding exercises, I like to do them at a trot. I like to have that horse have that little bit of momentum and a little bit of forward to get started. There's a lot of people that will actually take with a counter bend and try and move that horse off of that leg as their starting point. Kind of just move those ribs over and they let that horse look away from the direction of travel. I don't like that as my starting point because that feels like it's cheating. I can't get the hind end to work the way that I want it to work in that position. Another thing is, this is a young stud colt. It's really, really, really easy to get horses watching your leg, looking at your leg, even biting at your leg. So I want to start, and I'll work that horse into their nose. I'm going to sit back onto my outside pocket and just sort of lift that belly. Lift that belly. Good. And I got a couple nice little steps there where I was able to drive that left hind leg up under his body. What I'd really like to accomplish with that is I want him to learn how to use that outside hind leg to power up into him. If I do it really, really correctly, he's going to actually gain shoulder elevation from that hind leg reaching up. The deeper I can push it under his body, up under the cinch, the more forward I can push it and the more power, and I'll even add power by trying to put a bit of acceleration into it. If we watch right here at these withers, I can lift this horse's shoulder through that hind leg. Not quite, not quite, and push, push. Now I got a little too much lateral, not the forward I'm looking for. There we go. Good, and a little bit of a hint of shoulder elevation. So I'll continue to work that until that just becomes very, very easy. I want to be able to turn this horse into a locomotive where I can put that haunch, align that left hind right between the front legs, or line it up with my inside front leg, depending on how far I want it over, and continue to have that forward. And this horse will find relief when he gets to that position because I will relax and let him go back to his normal shape. Again, try and push. If they try and trot, I just catch them, cluck, drive that hind leg up. Yep. Catch them when they try and lope. Drive, 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 drive. Good. Good. Little more. Yep, got stuck again. There we go. Good job. Good boy. And that's a really good exercise to strengthen this horse. He's learning how to move away from that pressure I'm creating through my leg, and he's learning how to drive forward simultaneously. That's the very start. I typically start with the haunches in. I may use some half pass work, but early stages, nose always to the direction of travel. So you dressage purists, don't crucify me. I'm going to take that hip further than what the dressage people typically want. I'm going to have a more bend than what they want, but this is a cowboy movement. It's going to set me up for my lead change, It's going to set me up to teach that horse to use himself behind evenly. If he has a weakness, I can go after that weakness and work one leg harder than the other. I'll get my shoulder elevation, I'll get my collection, and it all starts here.